it is without a doubt that all the best things came from the 90s, including the TV show Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Absolutely. And Buffy the Vampire Slayer's brand new board game was at Gen Con. Not for sale yet. It's coming out in October. But I got a chance to sit down and demo a full game. I got to play a whole game of it. And this comes from Lynn Vander Games and Jasco Games, who published the Mega Man game recently. So, huge Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan. I've been really looking forward to this. I even liked the old Hasbro, or I forget who made it. There's a good one and a bad one, but the good one was really good.
Yeah,
in a
I
way.
remember you had the old copy.
You played it.
Yes,
yeah.
I have played it. This is like, there's certain things, I think Buffy's definitely one of the big ones for you, of like, when you hear someone actually bring it back, you're like, oh, yes, that's me!
Right. So
and that is your thing.
This is much more modern than that. And it's funny, I want to bring up, because we were talking about the Walking Dead game the other day, and I described it as Dead of Winter Light, and then went on to talk about how if we liked the theme more, we probably would have got a lot more out of it. This is probably very much that, so it's hard for me to step back from that lens. But in describing,
I don't think that's a bad thing. I think
right.
Just like with the Dead of Winter, I don't think it's bad. It means they tried to really be true to the property, and I think that's a good thing.
So whereas I called that Dead of Winter Light,
maybe some other things I've done bad, but I assume this does it in a good way.
Right. Whereas I called the Walking Dead game Dead of Winter Light, what I call this, which surprised me, I didn't know what to expect.
I really hope you say like Heavy Uno.
No, Eldritch Horror Light. Or Arkham Horror Light.
Oh, you know that. Now you've hit my itch.
So basically, it's a completely cooperative game, 1 to 6 players, which I think is awesome. And what I love also, compared to the other one, where one player had to play as the bad guy, this one is not like that. Everyone's working together. You get to play as most of your favorite characters, the main characters.
The way you just said most, I just now imagine Xander in a corner just
Well, I was Xander.
Oh, right, he's in it!
And unlike the other game, again, I will stop comparing it to that because no one's played that game. Xander and Willow aren't useless. Everyone's on more even ground.
I thought Willow was all right.
It depended on the situation. Right. But your map is Sunnydale, and it very much like Eldritch Horror Arkham, you have your circles.
All your places.
You can go to. Unlike those, however, you can move freely to any place. You don't have to travel from place to place.
Well, considering this is just Sunnydale.
Right, it's just one city. It's not the Earth. And there's going to be different monsters that appear, vampires or demons, and each turn they'll spawn in different places around the board. And you're traveling around, and depending on who you are and what weapons you have, you can search for items. Each location has a special ability you can do there. You can try to fight a monster, or every character also has a special action. So,
I assume Willow can do something with spells or something.
Exactly. Buffy is really good at killing vampires. You actually have either 4 or 5 action tokens that are generic, and you go one at a time, and you flip it as you do it, and you go until everyone's used up their tokens, and then the monsters activate and move. And there's 3 monsters of the week, and that's what they call them, and then there's one big bad. And to win the game, you have to defeat the big bad. There's also like an apocalypse track, and if that fills up, you lose, which we actually did lose when we played our game.
How many times did they stop the apocalypse in that show?
Every other episode or so. And so what I loved about it is it has a big bad for every season, most of them at least. Like, for instance, Spike is a playable character, so he's not included as a big bad. And a lot of the monsters of the week, they all come from different episodes, so you're going to see a lot of the stuff that you love.
Do they have those silent?
They're on the cover of the cards. I didn't see them.
Well, and here's my next question.
Yeah.
Art. Is it...
Oh, loved it. Loved the art, all original art, and he was talking to us about how the actors actually all approved their own likenesses of it.
I like that.
Which was really neat. So it sounded clear that they knew, he told us that they wanted to make a game, first and foremost, that was a good game with the Buffy flavor added onto it. And I really think they did a great job. It is pretty much exactly what I wanted from this game. I didn't expect that Eldritchy feel maybe I didn't go into enough detail, but you have to, for instance, the big bad or a monster.
Can you seal?
Well, no, you can't. Well, at least that I know of. There may be items we didn't
Right.
see. But a monster of the week will require 2 types of items. And then once you have them, you have to go to its space and spend those items. And then you flip a card from a deck, an event card, and the event cards all have different symbols on them. And if it's the correct symbol, you defeat it. And then there's also the big bad has they're actually called rumor cards. Or no, they're called plot cards, sorry. They just so reminded me of rumor cards. That I thought that was true. And they leave clue tokens. It is pretty similar.
Clue tokens?
Yeah, those are called clue tokens. So there's a kind of a luck-based thing with that, and you're also trading cards with each other. So the cooperative nature, I think, came out pretty well.
Now, I'm just curious, what was the big bad you fought?
It was the Master, which is the Season 1 vampire guy. We also,
Because I was curious, because I'm thinking through scenarios, like, for example, I'm blanking on the name of it, but the sort of robot monster one, which would be a whole different, like, does it change the way the game works and stuff?
Yes, each big bad has their own special rules that affect the game, and their plot cards they're different ones. So each time you play, you might not get the same ones, and every time they come out, they make things a little harder for you.
I mean, this sounds really awesome. I mean, you caught me because I haven't finished, but you wanted to turn me on to the Buffy series,
right.
And have enjoyed it. And of course, you said Eldritch Horror, so
exactly,
which is sort of funny because how Eldritch Horror is supposed to be Arkham Horror light,
right?
Apparently, this is the next one in the line.
Yeah, the board reminded me more of that.
But the two things are, one, now I sort of want Cthulhu monsters to do with Buffy fighting him because you know she could take him on.
Agreed.
Two, because I'm thinking of Arkham Horror and its expansion that added like a small city with locations.
Oh, yeah.
And then like, oh, look, L.A. And look, there's now, the other characters from Angel and stuff.
You definitely could do that. I would love to see that.
But, yeah, I mean, it sounds awesome. And, I mean, I already love Eldritch Horror and Arkham Horror. And already enjoy the Buffy series. So it already sounds like this is going to be up my alley.
Yeah.
And from you, it sounds like this has been pretty much everything you wanted.
No, I was super happy with it. They really nailed the flavor, the characters, the art.
I think the only thing they could do is they could have announced is like, we're also releasing a legendary Buffy expansion.
Right. And then the new I need these properties in every kind of game that exists. So if you're a Buffy fan, look forward to that in October. You can pre-order it, I'm pretty sure, on their website right now, Jasco Games.
We got plenty more Gen Con news coming, so you better stay up to date at Roll4Crit at Twitter, as well as Facebook, Instagram, and just subscribing right here.
And, of course, you can find us on our very own website, roll4crit.com/GenCon2016 for all our videos, photos, and more. Stay tuned.